additional garden, you know, in your sanctuary.
You
Oh boy! Well, this is what we were talking about at the beginning of the series. The Freeze Mage Mirror, one of the most complicated matchups, technically, because there's a lot of small nuances. There is something that I do want to bring up that I think will be the primary difference maker, is that there's a second heal bot in Purple's Freeze Mage deck.
That's
and
true.
That literally might be the inch that helps him go the full mile.
Yeah, Healbot does mess up a lot of calculations from Freeze Mage Mirrors. And I would give the edge to Purple, just because of that addition.
But if you draw it early on, if you draw both of those early on, it might hurt your card draws and all of that. And sometimes the games get decided by something like a good Emperor or an Antonidas. And the heal bots might not matter, but he might have a tiny edge because of that.
Mind if I roll knee?
And it's very interesting because you never want to attack your opponent once they put up a secret. Ice Spirit might, you know, turn to healing.
Exactly.
For a Freeze Mage. So for Purple, he could have just played an Ice Block at turn 3 and stopped all attacks. Just you know bluffing that it's an Ice Bearer.
Yeah, that's true. Neirea here getting some damage in early, but like those heal bots are going to be at least a little bit effective now.
It's funny too because the dynamic was like whoever could pop Ice Block first was in a big advantage, because if you pop Ice Block first, then you know they have to respond to it and play Ice Block, and you have an overwhelming advantage. But because of the heal bots and the way they interact, popping the Ice Block doesn't always guarantee victory. You might overextend, lose all your damage, and then lose the game because of it. So sometimes the idea is maybe the first person who pops the Ice Block is at a huge disadvantage if they go all in too fast.
Right, exactly.
Speak to me.
Freeze Mage, in the end of the day, Alexstrasza can target yourself to heal for 14 health if you're down 1. And then with 2 heal bots, that's a full 30 health that you can gain.
You go back to 30 like nothing
Exactly.
happened. Well, Emperor Thorson on a full hand practically from Purple.
Yeah, no hesitation, just going for it immediately. Good for Neirea, he did pick up a Frostbolt, so with the Acolyte, Frostbolt and the ping, he will be able to deal with that.
And he might have even picked up something else, but Frostbolt, very efficient way to remove it.
Yep, works out quite alright.
Alright.
So the ping and could even Doomsayer, no, I don't know.
I think you want to Doomsayer if you anticipate something like Emperor, for example, on turn 6, or you anticipate, you know, Alexstrasza coming. In this case, I guess he just drops it so that way his opponent can't take advantage of the board. If he had like Emperor and he does a bunch of fireballs.
I kind of like it. That card tends to not be too valuable in this particular matchup, so why not play it? You kind of get the initiative here, and he could just, well,
it kind of helped Purple draw a card and put it in play.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, hand management in Freeze Mage Mirrors are often very tricky, since there are lots of spells that you can't play.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just see Freeze Mages just play a Blizzard with nothing on the opponent's side, just to get rid of a card.
Yep.
You see that with Flame Strike the most because it has lowest impact. Blizzard in Icelands maybe can kill Antonidas, but you're generally speaking, like, you're correct. The Blizzard, like, what does it do? It just takes up hand space. He's not there yet, though. He's not at 10 cards, so he can stand to draw another one. But when you're at the limit, it's like, well, what do I do?
I'd be really surprised if Neirea did not play the Doomsayer here, because he knows that Purple got a full hand Emperor effect, so there could be an Alexstrasza coming down from Purple's side on the next turn. So I would expect him to play the Doomsayer. We can see that it's kind of not that necessary. But yeah, there could have been that. Well, but it's not discounted. It's too late.
Yeah. And Purple's sitting at 9 cards, so he can just pass the turn back.
Exactly.
And this match is all about reaction and you know, playing the cards that matter.
So he has the Alexstrasza play himself, but he chooses to keep it instead. He's going to drop Doomsayer now.
He should. I kind of feel like he should.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you hold on to it? Just the Blizzard.
Oh, burns the Blizzard.
Okay.
But now that I think about it, you might be right for that. Because Blizzard can stop an Alexstrasza attack.
That's true.
So it is a little bit more valuable than Flame Strike.
It does give stall because the Alexstrasza is kind of like a buffed up, powered up fireball, right?
Yeah. There's the Doomsayer. He wants to use it to take out the Alexstrasza.
But this is a nice block pop.
Yeah, he can do it with those discounts. He can double fireballs and a Frostbolt.
But yeah,
He can even save the 1 mana Frostbolt and the 0 mana Ice Lance if he wants to.
yeah, of course you do, because you have Antonidas, right? And once
Yeah,
again, like Frodan said,
exactly.
you don't want to spread your damage too thin, and then you can't finish out the game after popping 2 blocks,
What to
going
do?
through Neirea's Alexstrasza, going through the anti-heal bot, but whoa!
Wow!
He's actually going to remove the Doomsayer
That is
and
very interesting.
do a kind of like a resource battle.
Yeah, so he's investing this Fireball to become 8 damage in turn, if this Alexstrasza can live.
Okay.
And that makes it so that way Alexstrasza attacks, and then, you know, Fireball plus Ping is the kill.
But we can't forget about the Ice Bearer still
Yeah.
in Neirea's side there.
Yep.
But
Neirea going for the Antonidas here.
Yep.
Coin.
Fireball.
coin
or
Fireball,
Fireball,
or
yeah.
Frost. Nova.
He could also go for the Nova if he wants to do Fireballs in his hand instead of 1 Fireball and a Frost Nova. But obviously the Fireball would kill the the Alexstrasza.
It seems that Neirea did this move because he just saw a Fireball. It's like, oh, how reasonable is the second Fireball in Purple's hand as well, right? He might have to burn a Frostbolt Ice Lance, and in this matchup, the Frostbolt Ice Lance is super valuable.
Right.
I think what Purple wants is to bait out things like Healbot too. And one of the things that he was also emphasizing when we were talking about this matchup before the game was cornering your opponent and forcing him to make really bad decisions so that he has to use Healbot before the ice block, and then all of a sudden you can really bully him. So I think he's trying to put on pressure, and that could explain why he's killing off Doomsayer as opposed to piping the ice block.
Yep. Here Neirea has a lot of options. He could ping that, play a Frost Nova, maybe the heal, but Antonidas from Purple's side is already used, so that heal bot is not really getting any better than it is here. That also set up the Alexstrasza down to 5, which means that the Flame Strike with Blood Mage or a ping would deal with that next turn.
The Healbot coming out here.
He doesn't necessarily have to use the Nova if he doesn't want to, because he does have that Ice Barrier up. So that's going to effectively negate the damage from the Alexstrasza.
It's very cool because I'm thinking about what Neirea's win condition now is, because he's playing very defensive.
Right.
I'm assuming that he needs to have a minion that sticks on the board, for example, his Alexstrasza.
Sure.
After all these resource battle has ended, for the Alexstrasza to actually hit Purple's face a couple of times to win.
Yeah.
But again, now that he's used Healbot, he's 1 answer less in case his Ice Block gets put him at 1. Because the problem with Ice Block, even if you draw the second one after you get popped, you're going to be at 1 HP.
Oh, now that is a very good draw.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, Purple's going to get 3 fireballs here.
That's right. And not to mention that Antonidas will absorb damage too. So it takes pressure away from him. Purple's in such a large advantage, and Neirea looks like he's almost out of options.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, once again, Purple needs to pop the block, reduce it down to, well, it doesn't really matter, right? It needs 13 damage to pop, and then Neirea's gonna heal for 15. So Purple's really looking for 28 total damage in his hand.
Yeah, Neirea would love to heal up here, but if he chooses to play the... Well, what? He doesn't have a heal, but... right, he played it in the previous then. It's Purple with the double heal, but... So Neirea, he will be able to heal up with the Alexstrasza a little bit later on, but right now he needs to deal with that Archmage Antonidas.
Playing the Thalnos as well is always very scary, because, you know, this game, this matchup does go to fatigue.
That's right. Fatigue's
And
another
you
thing.
don't want to draw too many cards.
Well, it hasn't crossed that threshold yet because Neirea has still yet to hit his Emperor Thorson, for example. So I think he'd love to draw some answers at the moment.
Purple dealing 1 damage, that's actually really key. Lots of pressure there.
Yeah, saving those fireballs. It's an interesting
he's,
decision.
He's making sure not to overextend again because he does. I think his plan might literally be the double heal bot and to just like outlasting my opponent and running him out of resources.
Yeah, interesting.
It's a very defensive approach to the Freeze Mage Mirror.
I wonder if you're actually playing this match, if you're keeping track of how many fireballs are used. You know, if I was playing, I was like, I don't know, Purple still has like 5 maybe?
Yeah, I guess so. Ice Barrier is still up, by the way, so Purple is working with 22. And Thorson finally comes into the hand for Neirea, giving him a couple of options here.
Yep, Neirea not playing the Alexstrasza on his opponent because he has to save it for himself. There are no other ways for Neirea to heal up. He's only playing 1 heal bot.
And again, the Arcane Intellects, you know, how much are they going to be helping versus hurting at a certain point?
Oh, Flame Strike with Lethalnos does push one additional damage to the face. And that's exactly what you need, right? Right now, Purple is counting 26 damage, 11 plus the 15 from Alexstrasza. So he doesn't have 26 damage yet. Might as well ping a couple more times.
Yeah, this is getting so close. But that extra heal what that Purple has in his hand is what makes him a huge favorite in this.
Yeah, Neirea has to dig deeper yet again for some more options. He can stop the attack on board by playing Ice Barrier.
Ooh.
And he will.
Yeah, this definitely does suck a little bit for Neirea, since Antonidas is what the Frostbolt Ice Lance wants to pair it with, not Alexstrasza.
No.
Frostbolt plus Ice Lances equals 11 damage. So in his mind, maybe he can try popping it in a couple of turns. But again, they're such low on cards. It's like 5 or 6 cards or less.
I mean, if he can actually reduce Purple down to 1 health, and Purple is out of cards, he'll take that 1 fatigue damage and die, actually. So, that's some math there. I wonder how many cards are in their decks. It's kind of relevant now, yeah.
Well, 2 cards for Neirea, so the
Right.
second Arcane Intellect's out of the question.
Oh, Purple's sitting at a very healthy 5 cards, so
He's
lots
drawn
of wiggle
less
room.
cards.
Yeah, well,
Almost
Neirea
out
had
of
to
cards.
draw a lot of cards.
He has
Fish
more
for the
damage.
Thorazon. Oh!
Now that introduces a
That's
new wild
interesting.
card, because the Pyroblast does end up being used here and it put him down to 3. But again, that heal bot, that second heal bot's so big.
Yeah, but you do not want to use Heal Bot until after your block gets popped.
Right.
Because just for the Alexstrasza, right?
I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, you're never gonna have 10 mana floating, so might as well Power Blast this turn.
How many cards
Float
does
10
Purple?
mana. Seems unlikely.
Yeah, that fatigue is just going to kill Neirea first. It seems like a likely outcome of this.
Right, so he's going to force his opponent to Alexstrasza now.
And playing the Doomsayer means that the Doomsayer removes the Alexstrasza, so very, very good play here.
Right.
The end is coming!
Not to mention that Neirea is actually out of cards, so he is actually forced to use Alexstrasza, otherwise a ping from Purple would kill him.
He has to do it.
He has to Alex. What else would you do? I guess pop his Ice Block in the process? Frostbolt his face?
Yeah.
Oh, but then you give up your Ice Lances too.
Oh, that is terrible. So, double Ice Lance maybe then?
But then how do you have damage to finish the game? You know he has
I don't
2
know.
heal bots.
Froda, that's really hard questions to answer, right?
He's gonna just toss in the Frostbolt.
Alright.
Maybe his hope is Mad Scientist can do some damage.
Wow, down to the Mad Scientist to do damage.
A lot of death, a lot of revivals, but looks like Purple still in firm control of this game. This is where the Ice Block and Heal Bot combination is devastating. I think Neirea's last
actually-
hope was
No, actually Neirea can pop here. With the Fireball Ice Lance Ping.
Wow.
He can not only pop, but he can pop Purple at 1
Oh
HP.
man, then Purple needs to actually finish the game next turn.
No, it actually looks like Neirea might be able to take this.
Wow, you're right.
I mean,
Yeah, that's the second Ice Block too, you're right.
Yeah. And the Alexstrasza from Purple is already played.
Yeah, and it's both of his heal
What to
bots.
do?
Supposedly Purple still has a burn spell maybe?
That could do
Right.
it. Neirea is going to take fatigue for 2.
Yep, so Purple needs to do 11 damage.
So basically Neirea, he can do all this, and he can also squeeze in the Ice Block.
Wow.
Like-
No, Ice Block doesn't really matter for Neirea right now.
No, not really.
Well, it prevents him from being able to get burned to death on the following turn.
Well, he's taking
Right.
fatigue damage, right? So, you know, Purple would just like not do 13 damage, or just do 11. Let the fatigue damage kill him. But yeah, Purple's in a little bit of an awkward situation here.
I mean, might as well play the Ice Block.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah,
What does he
Purple's
do?
not happy
Oh.
about that. And oh.
I think his last card was probably the burn.
Roll need.
Oh, is it another Fireball?
Is the Fireball? That
would
was
be
so
devastating.
brutal.
No!
You don't get to see it now.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was the last fireball. He needed that,
Oh,
and it was
man.
his second to last card.
That's right, counting fireballs, man. It's really
Yikes.
hard.
Oh, you saw then Purple's face as well.
Now, Neirea stole that, I think, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to be understated that Purple's deck was much better equipped for that matchup specifically, and losing it was very brutal.